The Murray State University Town and Gown Community Band, under the direction of Dr. Todd Hill, is at it again this summer. A variety of local musicians gather and rehearse for two performances that are held on Murray State's campus for the community to enjoy.
The Town and Gown Community Band here at Murray State is sponsored by the Office of the Town and Gown, but we involve adults, students at Murray State, as well as high school students who have made at least an all-district band. And we have a lot of music educators and retired music educators in the group. Last year's season we had about 35 high school all-state and all-district kids from the region. So it functions not only as a great community activity, but it functions in some ways as a recruiting tool for the music department at Murray State.
This edition of the Community Band is currently in its second season. However, this is not Murray's first stint of having one, and there's a long history of community bands in Murray dating back to the 1950s.
The Town and Gown Community Band is really the successor to something that had existed many years ago. Back in the old days, folks like Paul Shahan, Doc Farrell, and others had conducted this group back as early as the 1950s in the summertime for the music students who were going to school in the summer so they could keep their chops in shape and be playing. That group basically continued in varying formats up until around the year 2000, and interest had just kind of died off at that point. But a lot of the prior directors included Roger Wrightmuth, Dennis Johnson, and John Strobe.
Dr. Hill credits Town and Gown coordinator Mark Welch for his work in bringing the band back and drawing more interest about it from community members.
Well, I've really got to credit Mark a lot for what he came to me and presented. You know, why don't we get a community band going again? That would be a good thing for the Town and Gown, because it would be a great way to tie together the university, the Gown, and the town, Murray. But we've got folks coming from as far as Jackson, Tennessee, and Paducah, and even Marion to play in the group.
With a huge number of participants and wide varieties of music backgrounds, the community band creates a unique environment in which everyone enjoys.
This year, we've got over 100 right now for the first concert, and that's pretty large for a concert organization. Thankfully, we're in large spaces. We're outside, or we're in Lovett Auditorium where we've got room to spread out. We've had to stop meeting in the band room just because we have more people than will fit. I think the camaraderie of the group is one of the strengths of the group. You know, when you've got somebody that's 65, 70 years old, that's a retired band director, sitting next to a music education major or a high school kid looking at majoring in music, I think that's one of the most wonderful learning environments they can ever have. And especially for the younger kids, because when you're sitting next to somebody that plays a lot better than you do or that reads a lot better, you're getting better instantaneously.
Dr. Hill believes that the community support has been excellent because of the great turnouts at last year's concerts.
I think the community reaction has been really good. We had somewhere around 500 people at our first concert last year, if not more than that. It was really hard to determine being out on the quad. But, and that probably with the stoppers by, that probably went up to around 700 or so. Then for the Freedom Fest concert, which was held in Lovett Auditorium because it was just so hot. And we're going to keep that one in Lovett because of the heat. At that time of year, it's just all but impossible to be outside with a band and do anything constructive. We had around 1,200 people at that concert. So that's been a really good reaction from the community, and people are always asking, when's the next community band concert? And we've purposefully kept it limited to the 2 summer programs and then the 1 winter program, which we do with the Murray Choral Society.
The Town and Gown Community Band is a rewarding experience for its participants because it gives musicians a way to play their instrument in an ensemble setting, and it gives a wide exposure to different genres of music for everyone to enjoy.
I think one of the most important things that the group has done has been giving an outlet to people who haven't gotten to perform in a long time. That, and then for the younger students, it's just an exposure to a different level of material, and a lot of material that they might not have seen otherwise. These are classic band works. These are things that, we have 3 chances to rehearse, and then we do a concert. That is our pressure level. So everybody has to be a strong reader. Everybody has to really stay on top of things. But I think that makes it enjoyable too. There's no time to get bored because you're not rehearsing anything that much. Town bands were the medium of music for many, many years in this country. Before you had symphony orchestra associations, every little town had a band of some sort, good, bad, or ugly, But this has really been a cool experience because it's really opened up a genre to a lot of our folks that had never experienced this before.